flow, where your deepest heart's desires become reality. At Set to Love, we offer strategies and ideas on how you can stay out of crazy town. See, your human experience is meant to be lived with meaning, purpose, and creativity. You are here to contribute through your essence. We are best friends, moms, entrepreneurs, and above all, find our flow in assisting you to find yours. We come together weekday mornings to bring you ideas to fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on. Take what works and ditch the rest, and always stay set to love. Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Set to Love. I'm Eva Payne and my friend Shelley, and our guest today, Cathy Baker. Hello, welcome.
Thank you so much. That is probably one of the funnest little entries to just be on.
Isn't it? Like, I just want to bob.
Yes.
And then there's like that hard break, and it's like our faces.
Hey!
Yeah. I'm like, can we fade or something?
Right.
I don't know. We're not quite that techie yet. We'll get there.
Perfect.
Well, I want to welcome all of our viewers today to our show. And my best friend Shelley has to go. She can't stay on today. So it's going to be me and Cathy, and we're going to be learning some tips on parenting and what's really works for her. She's got 3 kids. One of them was special needs. So it's going to be a great show. But Shelley,
you know what? I really appreciate the fact that you're giving me a little grace. My daughter needs me this morning and I'm an hour away. So I just really appreciate you giving me the time to be able to just take a minute and be there for my daughter. So Cathy, I'm really sorry that I can't stay today, but I will be listening in the car because I think you have a lot of incredible things to share with our viewers. So I'm sending everybody love, and I'm on the road. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Travel safe.
Thank you.
Love
guys.
you.
Love you.
All right, Cathy.
Yes.
I saw your little kiddo walk in during our happy music. I love it.
His Legos were stuck. His hair's a mess, and he's only in his underwear. I'm like trying to break this Lego apart. I'm like, get out.
I love it.
It's great.
All right. So why don't you just tell the viewers a little bit about you, what brought you to our show today? And then I know you said you wrote down 5 tips, some parenting tips. And so I want to go through those. Let's just dive right in.
Awesome. So like she said, I'm Cathy Baker. I am a small town girl from Idaho. Grew up with 4 brothers in the desert, hunting, all that fun stuff. I honestly never dreamt outside of Idaho. I never saw myself, maybe in Montana, married to a cowboy. That's not at all what happens. But that's the extent of where I saw myself. And then I got married to a California man and became an Navy wife for 8 years. And so with that, I got to experience different cultures and different people and really see like so many different opportunities and possibilities in how you could live your life. And with that, it really became, it helped me grow into this woman who became very passionate about helping people move forward in their life, seeing people that were stuck. I love to help people with their emotions, with their physical appearance, with their finances, move them forward into living a better life and a life that brings like vitality and vibrancy and energy back into it. And so, like you mentioned, I'm a mom of 3 wild creations of God. They are blessings. I tell myself that every day. And my oldest was diagnosed intellectually disabled and ADHD. And so for the last 8 years, we have been riding that roller coaster and dealing with it, rocking our lives to figuring out how to live and create a new normalcy inside of things that just weren't normal. And so I've also been building my natural health company with doTERRA for the last 5 years, really helping people see they have options in living better and living healthier and feeling good all around. And then we're getting ready to launch our new vlog. So stay tuned, follow me on Instagram and watch that shift into this vlog where we're just going to create a space for special needs moms and really families, because they're all a part of this journey to have a space to be seen, to have a space to see our crazy, to feel the normalcy, and then also to provide the tools to help them relieve the stress or really just make things a little more simpler in this very non-simple life.
Yes, yes. Before we dive into what your tips are, I just want people to be able to relate. Like, what was that like raising your first kid? So you have no one else to base it off of. You don't have other kids to go like, oh, this isn't normal.
Right.
How was that for you? What was that like? Like getting that, even knowing to like, do I get a diagnosis? Is there something wrong with my kid? What was that like for you, that process in the beginning?
Well, right. Like you said, it's your first baby. You have all these expectations of like, oh, my perfect son, beautiful baby, cuddly baby. But then we started noticing like he wasn't holding his head, and everybody and all their opinions wanted to tell you everything that's wrong with your child. And what's wrong with me? I'm holding him too much. I'm spoiling him too much, and so I push it out, but then eventually realizing, okay, something's not right with my child. And the fear of identifying that, saying, something's not okay. Something's different. This isn't how my friend's baby is, And so it started with the military doctors. I love military, praise them, love all you guys, but the doctors, sometimes they really don't care. They're going to get paid either way. And so I pushed and pushed and pushed with no listening. And finally, a speech therapist, because his speech was delayed, noticed his physical ailments and was more concerned. And then the doctor listened. But it was really difficult when we met with the neuropsych and hearing words like, it'll make me emotional. I always get emotional, so I'm gonna avoid that. But hearing the words that your child will never be normal, in a sense. College will probably never be his thing. Keep him out of group sports because the gap will be different and peers his age won't be as accepting. He's never going to be an A, B, or C. His physical things, his social cues, he doesn't have common sense. So he's always going to struggle with making choices that might be good or acceptable to the outside world. And so I have to teach him a new level of success. And that shook us. Like that, hearing that your firstborn, your boy, and everything, like my husband's first son, is not going to be this athlete, is not going to be this rocket scientist, is not going to have normal conversations because he thinks and processes very differently. It was kind of a hard pill to swallow. You just get used to saying, oh, he just thinks differently. But no, like he is forever going to live very differently than the world. And I cried. I asked God, like, is this because I was like kind of scandalous in college? Like, am I being like punished for these things?
No, Cathy, did you not say that like you want to help people, you want to move people forward, you want people to evolve? Well, guess what? This was you guys made a little contract before coming down. Like, I got you. You want to evolve? I'm gonna make you an awesome mom.
Right. Oh, you want to actually experience something a little different so you can live a little different? Here, let me give you this ball of nothing that makes sense. So I had to really humble myself and adjust myself and adjust my way of thinking, and also have to help my husband, who came from a very different culture than I did and a very different upbringing. Being a Black man in today's world, he definitely has his own things in that world that he deals with on top of special needs son now. And so there was a lot of transition there and a lot of transition with my family. So we've been giving lots of tools to help everybody understand how to help my son. And half the time we're just winging it because one day something works and one day it doesn't. So, hey,
you know what? I think all us moms, we're all just winging it. There's no time where you're like, oh yeah, I got this. No,
you're like, oh, you woke up happy and 10 minutes later, this is going to be a rough day. Great.
Okay, let's dive in. We've got 6-7 minutes. So let's spend at least a minute each on each of your 5 tips for these mamas out there.
So the first one is you cannot compare. Okay, have you ever been compared to your sibling or your friend? Like, man, if you just did this, you would have a longer curfew. If you acted like your brother, but I notice, honestly, guys, comparison is the murder of all self-love. If I am saying, look, Micah can eat clean. He's not making a mess. Micah can run to the stop sign. Micah can do this. Micah can be kind. All I am teaching my son is that what you are and who you are being is not enough for me because I want you to be like Micah. God didn't send your child to be your other child. He didn't send you to be your neighbor or to be your sister. He sent your child to function and live and give the world what he has to give. And you have to be in a place to where you nurture that and love that. And trust me, I have fallen trap of being like, why can't you just do school like Micah does? Right? He is 2 years younger, which my son functions 2.5 years behind. And so it's hard when you see someone else, even maybe another special needs child with the same diagnosis, functioning better. You want that. But if you compare that and if you point that out and if you say, baby, look, with this then it makes them feel less than how great they are. And you have to stop that comparison because it will squash all self-confidence, all self-love, all self-belief in that they are good enough and that they're learning and that that's okay.
So good. I got chills on that one. Okay. Number two.
Okay.
Bring it in.
Consciously be aware. If you don't have any other children, then be aware of your partner, your spouse, or be aware of your mother or your father, or be aware of that neighbor. But you have to consciously be aware of the other people in your space. When you have a child with special needs, you are constantly divulged in their therapies, their behaviors, redirect. Oh, praise, that my other children get autopilot, mom, because I'm so focused on progress. Oh, setback, fix. And so when my middle son started acting out, which is completely out of character for him, being bad, being mean, it was getting my attention because now I had to redirect. And it wasn't until I sat down and he says, Mommy, Drayson gets all this fun time with you. And he was talking about therapies, blood tests, EEGs, MRIs. All he saw was that Drayson and Mommy leave and Drayson comes back with an ice cream or a new toy or something. And so it really took that shocking me that my children need me to be focused and present. So you have to make a conscious effort to be so fully present with them that they feel seen, that they feel heard, that they feel that they are important too, because they're not struggling, that their talents are beautiful too. Because if they're not being fed with love and teaching and spirituality, how are they supposed to grow and be awesome like you're expecting your other child to do as well? So make that conscious effort to be fully present and aware of your spouse. They need that attention too. Sorry, honey. I know I slack on you. But you have to. They need you too. They really do.
Yeah. Beautiful. Love it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Number three, this one took a little bit of time, but find humor when possible. Okay. Children will make your life awkward. 100%. And I got so consumed in, like, if my son wet his pants out in public, I was so upset with him. So mad. He's old enough. He's out of diapers. What is wrong with you? My son loves shiny things or soft things, right? So one time we were in a grocery store and this lady had really shiny, soft pants on. Guys, as we walked by, he grazed her butt. The old me probably would have like puked in her mouth, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And now, like, I could not, she like glanced like, what? And I was like, I'm sorry, he really likes shiny things. Like, you just have to, in those moments, like, it's all right. It's okay. Yeah, I really honestly don't care what you think about me. I used to take it personal, and it was very self-centered that my son's behavior made people think bad things about me. My son putting his face on a guy's like freshly washed car and like dragging it across. Oh my gosh, I was mortified. But the look on his face, he's like,
oh, it's shiny and soft.
So much joy in his life when he gets to touch these things. And so instead of being mortified and embarrassed and ashamed, thinking, oh my gosh, they're judging me, they're judging him, to be like, yeah, baby, okay, but now we got to like smudge that off and hope the alarm doesn't go off and like, let's get out of here. Come on. Right? So you have to find humor. This world is serious enough and hard enough And there are cruel things out there and people are going to be mean. But if you can find like the joy, like, okay, that was pretty funny. Did y'all like see his face? Like, oh my gosh, you just touched your butt. It's really because your pants, not because of your butt. Like there's a lot of funny things. God intends for us to laugh and to feel good. And laughter brings upon so many feel good hormones. And so find the joy where you can. Don't ever laugh at your child, but laugh at the situation.
Right.
Find that humor. Okay. Yes. Okay. The next
Bring it in.
one,
Let's hear it.
The next one, intentions over expectations. I was given this by a life coach because I was living in a lot of just like, gosh, I can't get through a freaking store without a child screaming here or him throwing this or grabbing stuff and being so overwhelmed that I'm leaving my groceries crying because I expect my children to listen. I expect my children to stay by the cart. I expect that the talk that I give them before we go in does this. I expect them to not fight and cry. And they're not listening to my expectations. And so I'm a mess, right? But when you lead with intentions, it really helps shift your mindset. So intend for them to listen because you've taught them the right things, right? We teach them. So we have those intentions that I've taught them the right thing, but also have the understanding that they're little. They're 8, 6, and 4. Their little minds, if we're in there for more than 30 minutes, they're going to get bored. I always set myself up with 3 to 4 tantrums. 3 to 4. That's probably intended what's going to happen in there. So when that happens, I'm not upset because I led with intentions they're going to listen, but this is probably going to happen. And if they don't happen, what a blessing for that day, right? But if you're expecting them to have this behavior, if you expect your spouse to show up and take the trash out, but you've never expressed that or led with good intentions, when they don't, you are let down. But if you intend on things going good, but understand they're probably going to shift, it releases that pressure of these huge expectations. And so lead with that intention of love. I've taught them, they know they're little. How do I expect them to do this when I probably wouldn't even do it if I was 4 or ADHD or sensory overprocessing because people are looking at you and that makes you uncomfortable, right? And so intentions, people, not expectations.
Letting go of the attachment. Love it.
Yes, we are not perfect. Perfection's not going to happen. And if you see a mama strolling through with that perfectly pressed child and that child that's behaving, praise her. Don't judge her because she is not wanting to be compared to. She's got her stuff together, and I bet that child throws a fit later that day. It just happens, right?
Going back to point number 2, do not compare.
Exactly. Yes.
All right, number 5.
Last one is trust God or your higher power, whoever you feel gives you inspiration, sent you here, made you, designed you. Trust him. And when I say that, I mean more than what you already think you do. So easy to be like, I believe in God's plan. And then be like, why is this happening to me? Right? You really have to take it to the next level of actually understanding that you were chosen by this child before he or her came. And it doesn't always make sense. And it doesn't, sometimes you feel like this is really, really hard. Like this is really confusing. This is breaking my heart. I am so afraid. But a lot of that fear evokes trust, and you have to involve that trust. And I really feel that there's a plan so much bigger than us. And if we can trust that God designed me and you to raise that child, you were enough. You were the person deemed worthy to bring this child through this life, teach him the vital things, loving himself, being confident with himself, trusting the right people, trusting that the world is for good. Here he comes right now. Never has a shirt on. But also trusting that he has a plan for your child, that this world is going to see what it needs to see in him, that he's going to give this world what he is meant to give this world, and everything else can just be for the birds. Say hi. So this is Drayson.
Hi, buddy.
Say hi.
Hi.
But
so cute.
He's my squishy.
I have a squishy too.
Yes, but really, even though it doesn't make sense, parenting doesn't make sense. There's not one manual that has it all. But if you can trust, you can just fully trust that you were perfect. You were perfectly picked by your child, by God, by this plan to be where you are, learning this, teaching this, giving this, sharing this. Then you'll have a sense of belonging and a sense of strength and a sense of purpose, knowing that you and him, and they came from a higher place with a higher purpose.
Yes, Cathy Baker. So good. So good. One of the best things I ever heard was we do the best we can with what we know and what we have in the moment. And it's like when you can just give yourself that grace, you can give your parents that grace, you can give your kids that grace. Just life flows so much better.
It does.
It has been an absolute pleasure having you on, and you have so much knowledge. I really hope that the moms out there really take to heart the things that you have said. Where can people connect with you and find you if they want to learn more or get to know you or become your new best friend?
Yes, please be my best friend. I love best friends. So you can check me out on Instagram at VibeRightCRB, just Cathy Renee Baker initials. And then Facebook as well, just either Cathy Baker. I do have an oil page that's Vibe Right CV on Facebook. But follow me on Instagram. It can link you to my Facebook. And then shift with me as we go into this next chapter with our vlog and other things, which you'll see all those posts on Instagram. So come with me, share with me, laugh at me, laugh with me, and enjoy this ride.
Oh, you've been such a pleasure. Thank you so much. And to everyone else out there, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Set to Love. We're here Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you have questions or you know someone who would be amazing to have on the show, send us an email, settolovepodcast@gmail.com. Have a great day, everyone. Stay set to love so you can flow for life. Thank you, Cathy.
See ya.